Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
But tell me, Eddie, is that a rabbit in your pocket, or you just happy to see me?
So, hello everybody. Welcome. We are back for the monthly, the good, the fun, and the weird. Got a lot of articles essentially to cover, but like most of them are short, so it's not like we're going to be spending too much time on them. But it's part of the good. Anita Sarkisian's feminist frequency is pretty much not pretty much. It is shutting down by the end of this year. So that's a bit of good news. For those who know who Anita Sarkisian is, and the shit that she's pulled in the past, pretty much. And then apparently there's a new Conan comic in the works. It's slated to be released in 2024, so we'll be going into that as part of the fun stuff. We got a couple of things that Stieg sent to me, so I gotta open those links and mute myself in case there's a video. So while I'm doing that, Stieg, introduce yourself and let everybody know where they can find you.
Okay, well, hi. You can find me on this channel or on Twitter. I'm on this channel twice a month, I think, usually, for the top 10s. And the good thing, funny, ugly. I don't know what it's called yet. I need to get used to it.
The good, the fun, and the weird, basically. It's a play on the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah. I keep forgetting one of the words, and then,
So, but I figured I could go with those overall topics. It's easy to find. It's relatively easy to find one based on those general ideas: good, fun, weird.
Yeah.
A lot of weird.
The weird is the best, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, and we got quite a bit.
Yep.
To cover as far as weird stuff that does not take much to find anything weird. But thank you all for hanging out with us.
Well, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. I was looking for weird stuff, and it's very easy to find kind of basic weird.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know me, I like it a few levels higher than weird.
You're our D&D DM. Trust me, I know how your mind works.
So it was. I had a hard time because a cat ate 5 fish or something. So weird. Like, no, that's not fucked up. I want someone doing something bizarre.
Yeah,
like legendary.
So, but anyway, so. And then next week, since there are 5 Wednesdays this month, normally it would be like the beginning of the 1s and 2s, but since my co-host Orange Hat Reviews is unable to do it next week, I'm going to be doing the retro review of Space Hunter: Adventures in the Forbidden Zone. So if you have not seen that movie, you have about a week to watch it. It's from 1983, and it's pretty much another studio's attempt at competing with Star Wars, but what Space Hunter ended up being was pretty much a love child of not only Star Wars, but Mad Max as well. And I will admit, objectively, it's decent, all right? It's not great. It's not bad either. It's a decent film. I'd give it about a 7 out of 10 if I were to be truly objective with the rating of this movie. But subjectively, I love the hell out of it. It stars Peters. If there's one major criticism I have of this movie, Space Hunter, it's Molly Ringwald's. I do not like her character. Other than that, it stars Peter Strauss. He's the main character. He plays Wolf, whose last name is the inspiration for my current D&D character. Ernie Hudson plays Washington, and it was this role that nearly cost him. It took a while, but nearly cost him the audition for Ghostbusters, which is the movie that we'll be talking about on the 1s and 2s, because he did the role of Washington before. The filming of Ghostbusters, and he really wanted to audition for Winston, but the studio associated him with the Washington character, and it nearly cost him. And
which character did you base the D&D one on?
The last name, not the character, the last name, Wolf.
Oh, okay.
That's how I spell it, with 2 Fs. That's how he spells his name.
Oh, yeah, I haven't noticed the name.
Yeah, well, I was looking for like 80s characters' last names because we were doing the 80s sort of theme with this one, and I went with Wolf.
Yeah, I was just looking at her ass because
Yeah, pretty much. This is my avatar. This is what he's talking about. Hold on, this, and I posted a bigger picture of what I was using. But anyway,
yeah.
so nearly cost him, and then Michael fucking Ironside, pretty much. Best last name, I would say, ever for an actor. He plays the villain. I'll be talking about. Oh, I already had that article, Stig.
Oh, okay.
I found it. It's just the two up top. Don't worry, I got the other links because I was able to search for them. But yeah, so I'll be talking about Space Hunter. If you have not watched it, it's like I said, the studio's attempt at competing with Star Wars. And I believe there was going to be multiple films in the works based on the title itself, Adventures in the Forbidden Zone, but because it essentially bombed at the box office, no other movie passed it.
It has, what was it? Lesbian cannibal Amazons in the sewer.
They weren't. They weren't. I wouldn't say lesbian. Because they called him a breeding man.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think they were lesbian, but they were going to eat them. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. But from the top, I see Trey Courtney. He's ready for the lit stream. Yeah. Good to see you. Ms. Martin Muses, my partner in crime in Call of Cthulhu D&D. Good to see you.
Yeah. Raccoon trouble last time.
God, raccoon trouble. She shot me in the shoulder. The raccoon bit her.
I don't regret a damn thing.
No,
because
I know you don't.
Most of the stuff last time was your own fault, really, or rather the dice.
I was gonna say, like, you're the one who stuck the raccoon in the van. Gravy says hello, good chats, the fun Stieg and the weird Mara. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, this is my kick. I'm at 223 right now on kick, so I very much appreciate that.
I'm vindicated. I'm vindicated because he labeled you the weird one. That's never happened.
I never. What vindication? I never pretended to be normal.
It's never happened before.
I just know your level of weirdness.
No, you really don't.
No, like, yeah.
It's the tip of the iceberg.
Sure. Gaming wants I like to move it. Yes, because I have King Julian on the thumbnail. Tris, what's up? Roll ya, Jade. Good to see you, Tris. Keely Chow, what is up? Citizen Ronan, good to see you. It was only a minute because we were going over the articles, Gravy.
You know what?
Crystal, hello. What?
I'd like to give a shout out to Keely Chow and Soul Assassin because they've been supporting everyone for years and years and years, and I think that's pretty cool, pretty awesome. And they should get a proper shout out, I think.
Yeah. So, because I see Soul Assassin here, thank you so much, Soul. Very much appreciate all of you hanging out with us because this is a new stream. So, hold on, I gotta shut my damn door. The cats.
Yeah, I have nothing to say to that. Just waiting for her to get back.
Yes.
Hey, yeah.
Sorry.
Shit co-host. I just wait along with the chat.
I heard nothing from my computer. So
I had nothing to say. I was just sitting there looking at the screen.
Yeah, bye, Felicia. Bye. Yeah. Out to Anita. This is Steve's Twitter. Thank you. Mr. Bentham, what is up? Good to see you. This is Ms. Martin's YouTube. Thank you so much for dropping that. Sultan Al Fahim, good to see you. Yes, it is a good movie. I normally don't gravitate to westerns, but there are westerns I do really like, and the good, the bad, and the ugly is one of them. So
The Quick and the Dead is awesome.
High Noon, I love. The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, I love.
Have you seen
Magnificent
Silverado?
Seven? Obviously, it's like one of the best cowboy films ever, and it's a Western adaptation of Seven Samurai.
Silverado, you need to watch that one.
310 to Yuma. The spaghetti westerns like Hang 'em High, things like that. So Mara's Twitch, yes, I plan to be there. It's either going to be Twitch or my Kick, and most likely Twitch, and it'll most likely be an afternoon stream because I found out yesterday that most likely my evening will be taken up and I won't be able to stream tomorrow evening. So yeah. As my live channel, I'm going to be live there early Friday afternoon, and then follow that up with the chill gaming stream. Yes, I recommend Space Hunter to both Trey and Gravy. Yes, so it's a fun movie. Objectively, it's not that good. Like objectively, I'll admit it's decent. It's not great.
I watched it last year. It was in a pile of movies he got me to watch.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, it's like it's like one of those subjective pleasures for me. Like I love the world and things like that, and minus Molly Ringwald's character, I love the characters. So
objectively, the movie is not that good. But
yeah, I'm saying I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10.
I think I give it a 6, but it's still even if I give it a 6, doesn't mean I'm not going to watch it again, because some movies, even though they're kind of bad, are very rewatchable.
Yeah, I'm saying then Space Hunter is one of them. And Darth Loverboy says, I've seen Space Hunter so many times I know it by heart. Same here. Like I watched it almost, I don't want to say religiously, but a lot when I was younger. So I pretty much know the movie by heart. And then it has a cameo from the comedian Colin Mockery in it. If you know Whose Lines in Anyway, he has a very, very small role, and there's a cameo in a sense from one of the Ghostbusters. So in a sense, there's a cameo from one of the Ghostbusters.
I kept rewatching American. What was it? American Cyborg Steel Warrior. It's right in the same alley as Space Hunter.
Mm-hmm. Fuck North, what's up? Hello, Vanya. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get through the chats. Yeah, it's cheesy fun. It's not going to win any Oscars. I will admit that, but I love it.
It's like a French sci-fi comic from the 80s.
Yeah. Michael Ironside is awesome. Yes. Yeah, that's my that's the avatar I use when I play D&D now.
Yeah. I only really see it before we start the game, because when we're playing, I'm looking at the notes and the the dice, and also whatever you guys are doing. If you're on camera or not, I probably won't even notice. So you can get away with all kinds of fucked up shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, StreamYard is finally allowing us to show member messages. Jaluk says, hello, Mara, Steeg, and chat. Member for 5 months. Thank you so much for the member message. No, they didn't have a Star Wars budget, but it was more or less like trying to... I should maybe walk it back. Not necessarily compete, but capitalize on the success of Star Wars, the Star Wars films, because you had A New Hope, and then followed by Empire Strikes Back. So studios were seeing the writing on the wall, so to speak, and they wanted to essentially capitalize on the success of those films and put out their own sort of adventures. And Space Hunter did not take off, no pun intended. So
yeah, they had a David Hasselhoff one too, Star Crash, I think it was called.
Yeah, there's so many knockoffs of Star Wars. Yeah, pretty much. There's actually a Turkish Star Wars. There were a lot. Yeah, there's women. Yes. Hey, Orange Chat Reviews. Good. I was telling them that the 1s and 2s will be 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now. So the 16th will be Ghostbusters.
They translated Star Wars to a Native American language a couple of years ago. Dubbed it, I think.
That's Jason, yes.
So I guess it's Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope.
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Bentham. So he'll be like, yeah, like as long as you're entertained, that's like what I care about. At some point, yeah. I mean, like I'm trying. Like it's when you have a set schedule, it's hard to fit in other streams. But like I said, like I guess I grew up with classic films, and some of those included westerns, like Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, High Noon, which is a really good. Why am I blanking on his name? Gary Cooper film. Yeah. And I've watched the original 310 to Yuma as well as the remake. So, everything watched. Breaking the Dead. Yep.
The Sons of Kate Elder is fun. It's John Wayne and Dean Martin, and it has a young Dennis Hopper as one of the villains.
No. I think Tom Nook is a socialist. So Mara's Mad Mara in the Forbidden Zone. Yeah, I'm saying it's like basically a love child of Mad Max and Star Wars.
Yeah.
How to do a good movie on a budget with great characters and need to see it again. So I would agree with that to an extent. It's a fun movie. It's incredibly rewatchable. And I like this guy didn't like it. I told you I told you to watch it not because it's a good movie. Objectively, it's a good movie. It's a weird fucking movie.
Yeah, I really didn't like it.
Yeah.
I was constantly sitting there watching it and going, "Is this something I'm not getting?" And I'm like, maybe it'll get explained later on. And they're like,
no, it really doesn't.
No.
It's a weird movie. It's a weird, fun movie. Like you have Jeff Goldblum in a cowboy outfit at the end, pretty much, and then you have Christopher Lloyd. The aliens all have Jamaican accents.
Yeah.
I should say interdimensional beings. They're not really aliens. They all like, yeah. Yep. I beat you to it. I beat you to it with the trivia. Good, bad, ugly review of Space Hunter. Yeah. I'd say probably if I were to get a good, bad, ugly review of it, like the ugly review in terms of characters that I don't like, it's Molly Ringwald's character. I am not a fan of her character in Space Hunter. He had me a Jeff Goldblum in a cowboy hat. It has Peter Weller, aka RoboCop. He plays Buckaroo Banzai. Jeff Goldblum. At some point he's in a cowboy outfit in the film. Clancy Brown he has a role. He has a role in that. Like this is basically early stuff. So, like you'd recognize some people in it, and the end credits. The end credits where the actors and they're all walking. Because it has Ellen. What's her last name? Birkin.
Burstyn.
No, because that's the actress that played the mom in Exorcist. Is it Burstyn? No,
Really?
No.
Jeff Goldblum is in a cowboy outfit in Silverado as well. He plays a gambler called Slick.
I cannot spell today. Ellen Barkin. Yeah, it wasn't Burstyn because Burstyn was the actress in The Exorcist. It was Barkin. She's really the only female character, but they're walking what looks like to the beats of the end number, but they're walking to Uptown Girl. And John Lithgow's the villain. Yes. So yeah, lots of future stars in that movie. But anyway, all right, so yeah, I'll agree with you here. These are really the only two movies I like her in. That at least of the Brat Pack movies that I enjoy, 16 Candles and Breakfast Club. Are the only ones I enjoy her in. I didn't mind Pretty in Pink, but I'm not too big on like romantic comedies of sorts. So
those movies are not good because of her, though.
I believe, yeah, she played the female character in Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, so. But anyway, so here I'm just going to present this because this is the good that we're going to be talking about. If I can find the tab. All right, so.
Her tits have gotten bigger. That's what the money went to.
Yeah. So Anita Sarkisian. All right, she is officially shutting down Feminist Frequency after 15 years. We were talking about representation very early on in a mainstream way. I'm actually surprised it's been around this long, but it is closing down.
A side note: the women that write for Feminist Frequency, they have these kind of avatar pictures of themselves, and they've slimmed themselves down with the avatars.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so they're all about body positivity and stuff, and then they slim themselves down in their own avatars.
Yeah, she's in the Gamergate days. Yeah, that's where she started making a name for herself, but not in the way she hoped or expected. Yeah, Bully Hunters, remember that? Yep. But yeah, so apparently it is shutting down. So she says, Anita Sarkisian is tired. It's been more than 10 years since Sarkisian first released Tropes versus Women in Video Games on YouTube. That shit. You remember that shit, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, she was gonna do 12 documentaries, and she only did like 4 and took the money and ran. I bet you they're gonna skip that bit.
So, they're not going to cover that. It's been 15 years since Sarkisian's oldest video and the start of what's now known as Feminist Frequency. Over the years, she and her team created several groundbreaking YouTube series, hundreds of podcast episodes done with dozens of collaborators, a games industry-focused support hotline for fucking what, and a Peabody Award-winning nonprofit organization. Well, anybody can win an award nowadays, so that means jack shit. All right. Yeah, remember this video, Chad? Damsel in Distress Part 1, Tropes and Women from Video Games. All right. Her work made feminist critique of the video game industry impossible to ignore, and developers listened. And look where they are now.
Yep.
So, yes, the video game industry has a long way to go, but not everyone listened, because they shouldn't. But Feminist Frequency's criticism helped bring the language of feminism to a space that was often ignorant to it, because I'm a woman and I don't want to fucking hear it when I'm playing a video game. But anyway. All right, so basically it's going into the history of Feminist Frequency. So, which I'm not going to go through this entire article because I really don't care about the history of Feminist Frequency. Okay. This professor of English at the University of Northern Colorado used Feminist Frequency in an undergraduate English class that's focused on research writing on video games.
No.
It's wow. Okay, this is a beta. If he's saying that her work stands up to this day, then he's a feminist ally.
Well, it's also false, because back in the 80s and 90s, Sierra was one of the biggest gaming companies out there. They had piles of women writing and producing games for Sierra, and a lot of them had female leads.
Yep.
The lady who started the adventure game genre, it's a woman, right? A woman started a genre in the 80s. They always keep skipping that bit.
Look at these titles, chat. Lingerie is not body armor. Whoever said it was, I don't know. And strategic butt coverings.
Well, in some fighting games, she has a point, but then again, they're not used as armor, are they? They're outfits.
No, they're outfits. I mean, hell, whenever I would play the Soul Calibur games, I always mained as Ivy, and I picked the skimpy outfits she wore. It's not supposed to be armor.
Nope.
Mortal Kombat's like not supposed to be armor. They're outfits.
The only one who wears armor, I think, in Soul Calibur is that Siegfried guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's in full plate.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to get down to I'm not going to go through this article. There's a lot of cringe in this. Sarkisian keeps coming back to that sense of isolation and her own healing as she moves on from feminist frequency. For a really long time, I was alone. That makes it
Oh, really?
worse.
She had millions
Yeah.
of simps blindly cheering her on.
It's really easy to sit in fear constantly. From what? I had some support, but I was afraid of everyone. She said she was forced to create a shell to get through it. I don't want people to have to toughen up in order to exist online. Well, that's the whole point of being online, is to toughen up. Because not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone's going to praise you. You toughen the fuck up.
Yeah.
But there it is. It is closing down. So we have until the end of the year, ladies and gentlemen, to continue making fun of feminist frequency because it will be dead by the end of this year, according to Anita Sarkisian. Neil Cuckman is crying, claims she is tired. She probably decided it's time to find some wealthy bozo to take care of her while she has a couple of kids. Yeah.
She got a boob job.
One tree falls, yeah. She ruined Saints Row. Yeah, Neil Cuckman listened to her. And $2 super chat from Mr. Bentham. Thank you. What's funny was watching all her simps defend her. Yes. And now I'm finding out that not even an English professor was using her videos. I don't know what for in English class. But yeah. So, and considering that and thinking her videos hold up. So, yeah. But anyway, that's the good news, ladies and gentlemen. So, basically get your jabs in the rest of the year. So, there's no more following 2023. Not voluntarily, but I know Lethal showed one of her streams, or at least some of one of her streams on one of his, and they are painful to watch. So I would need alcohol if I were to EFAP one of her videos. So, but anyway, it is gone. So that is the good news. So I'm gonna close that tab. So let's talk about some fun news. Now, I never really got into the Conan world, so to speak. I've watched the movies. But never really got into the world. But recently, Teresa and I and a couple others played Conan D&D. So that's kind of my experience with the world. But for those of you who've read the books, comics, a new comic is coming out in 2024. And Stieg shared this with me.
Well,
so
it's kind of like they're restarting the Savage Sword of Conan, which was the good Conan. Yeah. From the 70s, and it lasted up until 1995, I think. And these were the ones that had paintings as covers, and gorgeous black and white artwork. So this is peak Conan, and it's coming back, hopefully well. And I'm hyped for this because this was what I read when I was a kid. I mean, this is why I'm fucked up, and partially, but this is great news. It's mostly just the superhero comics that have been messed up. Other comics are doing just fine.
Mostly, I would say mostly, and that's primarily in the Marvel and DC categories. Dark Horse a little bit as well, but their sales are doing good. But that's primarily because of manga, because people are checking out of mainstream comics because of the permeation of identity politics where they don't belong.
Yeah,
So,
they also did some Conan stuff. I think it was 2021. They did a series called The Cimmerian, which is graphic novels based on the original Robert E. Howard
hey, EJ.
stories, and they were uncensored as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Mr. Benson says, I'm hesitant, Steve, but if they do it right, this is great news. Yeah,
Yes.
so I'm just going to, this is not a long article, so I'm just going to go into this. So it's supposed to be released in 2024, and Savage Sword of Conan was originally published by Marvel Comics from 1974 to 1995. It served as the grim counterpart to the monthly Conan the Barbarian comic, printed in a magazine format with monochromatic artwork. Savage Sword of Conan featured more mature Conan stories. That should be a comma there, by the way. My inner English teacher's just eyes twitching. Featured more mature Conan stories, free from the confining regulations of the Comics Code Authority. The anthology series also featured tales of Red Sonja and other sword and sorcery stories inspired by Robert E. Howard.
Yeah, these were thick. They were like 60 pages, 60 pages or so. So bigger than regular comics.
Yeah, this right here. I've been noticing this also, just in the Barnes and Noble, maybe one aisle, maybe 1.5 of comics, like graphic novels, Marvel, DC, what have you, dwarfed by the manga section.
Yep.
Titan Comics announced the new Savage Sword of Conan book at San Diego Comic-Con in 2023. The publisher also released a trailer for the new book, which can be viewed below. I'm not sure how long this trailer is, so let's just... I apologize for any echo because I don't have my headphones in, but let's just see what this trailer is. 8 seconds.
Basically just pictures of the old comics.
I paused it. Yeah. I just didn't know if it showed anything else. But yeah.
No.
So
nothing new, because I recognize every page they showed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is if you played a Conan D&D, so you have some inkling of what the world is like. So if you read these comics, you'll get to see what competent people do with it.
Well, hopefully, because I don't really have any experience with Titan Comics. So if they haven't fallen into the identity politics trap, that's good. Is very potentially good news.
Well, if you check the link to my tweet that I put in the private chat,
mm-hmm.
There's more, and it's also by Titan Comics.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so
yeah, if you share that one, you'll see the other stuff.
So it's this.
Yes, these two comics were released today. This is Fire and Ice. It's a comic based on a continuation of the old Ralph Bakshi animated movie from 1983, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the cover, the women.
Yeah.
No identity politics going on right there.
No.
And this is what the new Conan comic looks, the one that started today.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Conan the Barbarian. I'm guessing it's going to be more like the Marvel Conans, which are more cheesy, but they're still fun. But they're not as gritty as the Savage Sword of Conan, though. But look at the lady.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the identity politics there, right?
No.
This is exactly what it used to be. So this is, and the feminists will want, oh yeah, she's scantily clad and blah blah blah. Look at Conan.
Well, my
He's
character
wearing-
was practically naked when we played D&D.
Yeah, she killed midgets while naked. But
I know, but when I was clothed, it was
yeah, this was pretty much what you would wear though.
Yeah.
Because Temptress.
Yeah.
So that was entirely within. Well, you see it on the cover.
Mhm.
It was entirely within the franchise, right?
Yeah.
So
There it
yeah,
is.
this
There
Conan
it is.
comic and the Fire and Ice were both released today, and it's going to have monthly releases. So go get them. They're $4 a piece.
Yeah, they don't seem scared of boobs. No, they don't. And this
No.
apparently is a
But
Fire
here's
and
the
Ice
thing,
movie.
though. Even though Conan has a lot of scantily clad women and all that, the comics are not lewd.
No.
It's not full of nudity or anything like that. It's basically Conan has more in common with James Bond and Indiana Jones than anything else, because it's all about an adventure story, and he
Mhm.
usually gets the woman at the end, and most of the women can take care of themselves as well. So
So you
it's-
just
it's a-
ask Sieg how tall the midgets were in the game. I know in reality here, to be considered a little person, you get to be 5 feet and under.
Yeah, these were like I guess 4 feet or something. I don't know. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so I have like a 5'9" temptress killing a 4-foot midget.
Yeah, and yeah, all of the characters were pretty tall.
Find it and suggest it, Terra Crystal. See if there is something like that.
Also,
Hey, guy.
Conan
Yeah.
will soon turn 100 years old. Conan franchise. It predates Tolkien.
Mhm.
It is fantasy, but it's categorized as sword and sorcery, though.
Mhm.
But so there's like a little bit of a
Hang on.
difference. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, predates Tolkien and still going strong.
Mhm.
That's highly impressive, isn't it?
Yep. So there's not much more in this article. It says that it's going to premiere in 2024, but doesn't give a more exact time frame. So I don't know if it's going to be early in the year, mid, or late in 2024. But
Yeah, and they said it would coincide well with the anniversary.
yeah,
of
it
the
says just in
first.
time for the 50th anniversary of the original Savage Sword of Conan series, but that doesn't necessarily mean it would be right around that time. Just in time for. So I don't know what that entails.
Gravy says you're 6'9" in real life. I'm gonna call bullshit on that. She's actually 6'5".
I don't like. I've told people my height, and they're like, "You sound taller." I'm like, "How does that happen?" You sound like you would be taller. And like, I don't know. That's just my personality. So, but anyway, so that's the fun stuff, ladies and gentlemen, or at least good/fun, basically. So, Feminist Frequency is shutting down, and you got revival of a good Conan series on the horizon. So look for that next year.
Yeah, and sword and sorcery is getting a comeback, because Michael Moorcock, unfortunate name, wrote the Eldrick of Melvin Bonet classic stories. He released his first novel last year since the 90s, and his books are being turned into graphic novels as well. So that plus Conan and Fire and Ice, the sword and sorcery it's starting to explode.
Yeah, because people, like I said, people are just tired
Yeah,
of what's going on in the entertainment industry, that they're turning back to like older stuff.
yeah,
Like stuff that
they're going.
comics that, like outside of DC and Marvel.
Yeah, I think Titan's going to do really well with this. I think this is a great move.
Yeah.
And you have Conan and the Fire and Ice stuff, but if they have if they have the rights to Robert E. Howard's work, they also have Solomon Kane and King Cole to mess around with, and maybe Red Sonja. I'm not sure though. She was actually created by Roy Thomas for Marvel Comics as a counterpoint to Conan, but there is a Red Sonja character in the old Robert E. Howard stories, but she's out there in Europe in the Dark Ages, so it's not the one you see in the comics. But
Yeah.
there's more stuff. I mean, Solomon Kane. It's the Van Helsing movie stole his look.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of grim classic horror stuff to do with that one.
Yeah. So I'm just going to close that article. So let's go into some of the weird stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Furries. There's one article about furry, in a sense, but this man here spent 19,000 pounds. I'm not sure what that is equivalent in U.S. dollars to become a wolf. It no longer feels human.
It's about $21,000.
Yeah.
Dollars.
So over 20,000 USD to look like a wolf, to become a wolf.
Is it Dave Filoni?
No, it's a Japanese man, so it's not Dave Filoni. He hasn't made the transition yet. So it's a Japanese man who went viral for his 19,000-pound wolf costume has unmasked himself, saying that it makes him feel no longer human.
Really?
Toru Ueda, a highway engineer from Tokyo, spent a whopping 3 million yen on the custom-made costume to fulfill his childhood dream of transforming into a furry predator. Furry is 2 R's. The 32-year-old...
Question. A furry predator, does he do predatory things like hunt in the park and
I don't know,
bite other animals to death?
I don't know. It just says here.
I feel he should if he wants to go all in.
I think he just says, hold on. Where was it? He says, I'm free of human relationships, all kinds of troubles related to work and other things. I can forget about them. When I wear my costume, I feel I'm no longer human. He commissioned the costume from Zeppet Workshop, a specialist production and modeling company that provides costumes and figures for the film and TV industries.
To be fair, the costume is actually very good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him that.
He says, I'm not a werewolf that's kind of a monster, and I'm not a monster. It is because of my love for animals since childhood and some realistic animal suits appearing on TV, I dreamed of being one someday. It took 50 days to complete, and he was amazed at the final product. At the final fitting, I was amazed at my transformed self in the mirror. It was a moment when my dream came true. My order to look like a real wolf walking on hind legs was difficult, to say the least, but the complete suit looked exactly like what I imagined. So,
yeah, this is not a.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, I hope he's harmless, but I don't think he's entirely sane. But
no,
so far it only harms him.
Mm-hmm.
But then again,
this guy here, the one who turned himself into a collie. Mm-hmm.
He might be wearing it in the park though, and then someone reports him to the police saying they saw a wolf in the park, right? And they show up and shoot him.
So, well, if he's walking on his hind legs, I think people can determine the difference. But this guy here turned himself into a collie, and I just like the headline here. He terrifies real dogs in the streets. It's another Japanese man. He forked over less money, but he became a human-sized rough collie. So he actually went for a walk and terrified real dogs. So yeah.
That's Lassie.
Yeah. can't even walk like a real dog. No. If he starts humping my leg, I'm still kicking his ass. Yes. If he doesn't feel human and he likes it, then he is a monster. Yeah. Hey,
They
Dr.
should,
Kaufman.
you know what they should do?
Mm-hmm.
Put him in the dog pound, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just whenever he tries to speak to get out, just ignore him. Just treat him as a dog. Just put him in a cage.
So, yeah. But there's that article. So here's another slightly weird one. Apparently there's a Russian cat that's as big as a 4-year-old.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Yes. So in one of the videos posted by its owner on Instagram, Kafir, the cat, is seen standing on its hind legs and reaching for the door's handle. Well, Japan's always been known for weird shit. The irony if he gets killed by a dog, yeah. So that's how big this cat is. So a cat is making waves on social media for its size. The feline is a pet of Yelena Menina, who lives in Stary Oskol town in Russia's Belgorod region. The woman keeps sharing the video of her huge cat on Instagram, which she said is the size of her 4-year-old daughter. In the most recent clip, the cat can be seen standing on its hind legs and reaching for the door's handle. Said the cat named Kafir.
I think I know what it is.
What?
It's not a cat, it's a Japanese guy in a costume.
So, this opens up in a new link. Hold on. I got so many tabs. Present. So, hold on. Let's turn it off because I didn't realize that the song was playing. But I can't take this video back because it's on Instagram.
Yeah, that one's huge.
Yes. A big cat.
That one probably eats a lot.
Right.
Imagine the litter box, though, full in one go.
Come on, StreamYard shits. Thank you. But there's the cat. That's about the size of a bobcat. Yeah. Yeah, she said it's a Maine Coon. He said it's a Maine Coon. So, yeah. That cat eats better than 4-year-old. I'm not going to read that. That's kind of wrong. But she says it's the size of her daughter. So,
because
either she's really short or that cat is bigger than that video made it seem.
Probably a combination.
Yeah. So I'm going to close that tab because I have a lot of tabs open. All right, so I'm just going to share the 2 articles that Stieg sent me. Only in Florida would you get an article like this. But I haven't seen these. Naked, greased up Florida man accused of breaking into 2 homes, jumping in the pool.
Yeah.
No, that's a Maine Coon cat.
Remember, I had one of those in the Conan game. That guy who greased himself up and rubbed himself against women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he used pig fat or bacon grease or whatever it was.
So a man was arrested Friday morning in DeBerry after he allegedly broke into 2 homes, then tried to evade deputies by jumping in a swimming pool and onto a trampoline, all while naked, according to sheriff's officials. Deputies said they responded around 2 a.m.
Naked and full of grease, jumping on a trampoline to get away from the cops. It's like Super Mario.
Yeah. to report a burglary at a home on High Banks Road and encounter the suspect, identified as 34-year-old Blake Tokman. The Volusia County Sheriff's Office said Tokman smashed out a window to break into one home, then left and broke into another house. So,
Why was he greased up?
I don't know, but
Well, it said.
I think this is the news story up here. So let's watch this. It says body worn camera video. Note viewer discretion is advised. So,
hey, put your hands up! Put your hands up! I got one running, going westbound behind just the fence. He's naked.
Should hear like splishy sounds when he runs.
yeah.
He's in the pool. Still running. Get back here! You're gonna get fucking tased. Put your hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. What's your name? Hands behind your back. What's your name? Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. What's your name? Hands behind your back. Right here. On a trampoline. I got him. He's resisting right now. I can't get the other hand behind his back.
Hey, stop.
Only in Florida, chat.
60 Central Stand.
You're on us. No! Stop!
Hey, settle down. It's the sheriff's office, okay? You're bleeding. Let us get you handcuffed and get you medical attention, okay? You understand?
High Banks! You driving Reds? Reds! He's slippery. He's slippery.
I know.
He's slippery. He's slippery.
Is that one cut?
Even after the pool, the grease is still on him.
Oh, okay. It's like
Yeah.
a paste.
Yeah.
Look at him. Yeah, it was glistening. He's like a superhero. Grease man.
No, he's in custody. We have nobody outstanding.
Is that a yes?
You're lucky they got you before I did.
Is that a yes? You know who he is?
That's not what
It's
No, that's
yeah, it's Kyle Reese.
I'm a lifeguard is what I am.
What day is it? What year?
Lucky you're not dead, homie.
Blake, what's going on with you, man?
What did you take tonight?
Blake, knock it off. Blake, if you kick him, you're gonna have a bad day. Worse than what you are right now.
Right. Blake, come on, dude.
What's up with his face? Look at that.
No, he doesn't have anything on him. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on
Smells like
something.
toothpaste.
Blake
Tokman.
I think that's him. I don't know. There's all this
It looks
weird
like him.
shit on him.
Yeah, what is?
I was aided on this one.
Right. Yeah, so you got naked and greased up to try to break into one home, stopped, broke into another home, and then was chased.
Swam through a pool.
His yard, goes in a pool, and then just face plants onto a trampoline.
Yeah.
All while naked. Yeah, I'd say meth too. He's on something, most likely meth, but yeah. So yeah, he's on something. I wouldn't say PCP because when people are on PCP, they have like superhuman type strength. Whenever they're on that, it's so he would have been able to resist a lot more if he had been on PCP. I'm not like, you know, like at least it would have been more of a struggle for the cops if he had been on that. So I would say no to the PCP, most likely meth. So, yeah. I actually took I'm a psychology major, and part of the additional courses I took was actually a CSI course. So I do kind of a little bit know from experience, but it's from that class in college and dealing with certain drugs and their uses and what the effects are. So did you guys know that heroin, I think it was heroin, was once marketed for teething babies? Yeah, drugs like that were once marketed to help teething babies.
Yeah, they did a lot with cocaine, I think, too, back in the day.
Yeah, so at one point, you could buy it over the counter. Cocaine was in Coke. That's why it's called Coke. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, you could buy this stuff over the counter at one point. So yeah, there's that. And then, kind of a disgusting article that Steve also shared with me. So, things got truly nasty on I-95 because a human excrement was leaking from a truck, caused crashes.
Yeah, there's literally, no matter what happens, there would be skid marks on the road.
Yes.
Even if they hadn't been crashes.
There was an old movie I watched. This is from like the I would say probably early 30s. I can't remember, but it's like the movie itself wasn't that good. The two leads, they were a comedy team, but I don't think they were funny. But I remember a scene where one of them actually won a handgun, by like throwing something into like one of those like walls at the back. Like if you throw it into this one, you win whatever prize is in it. And he threw it and won a fucking handgun. Those were the days. No security background check or anything like that. Just lobbed a little ball into this hole and he won a handgun. But that was like, I remember that scene stuck out to me. The movie itself didn't, but that scene stuck out to me. But anyway, so go away. Traffic got nasty on a stretch of I-95 in Connecticut on Monday night, quite literally. A northbound tractor trailer that was leaking human excrement as it traveled caused a number of crashes around 10:30 p.m., with police saying 10 vehicles ended up being impacted by the waste. The New York Daily News describes leaking feces as turning a portion of I-95 into a virtual skating rink. A motorcyclist who was injured after losing traction on his bike due to the slickness of the road was hospitalized with minor injuries. 2 unoccupied state trooper cruisers were hit when passing vehicles lost control, and the northbound section of the highway was closed for 3 hours.
So the roads are really shitty up there.
Yeah. The driver of the truck they identified as Shaky Joseph. He was aware of the leak but continued driving. The AP reports that witnesses told troopers the name High, Stone, and Son appeared on the truck. Authorities contacted the Connecticut-based company, which in turn contacted the driver.
A question. He's driving that truck thing that's full of human excrement.
Yeah.
And he knows it's leaking. But he does it anyway.
Yeah, so he not only did it anyway, but he was arrested and charged with reckless driving, reckless endangerment, and failing to secure a load. He posted a $25,000 bail. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a crap driver.
He was aware of the leak. He apparently was aware of the leak and kept driving, so he had to be told to pull over. Like his bosses called him and said, like, pull the fuck over.
What was the goal though? Just to cover the whole highway with a line of shit?
Yeah, so I mean, it was like closed for 3 hours, and 10 vehicles, including a motorcycle, was impacted in it. So, but there it is.
Imagine the motorcycle guy just, landing in it and skidding along, and it just splashes.
That's essentially what happened
inside the helmet and stuff.
All while eating McDonald's. Yeah. So what a shitty day. Shitsgate, yep. He had quit after that. Yeah, I was aware of the leak. Apparently, according to this article, he did for shits and giggles. What a dipshit.
Probably damn easy to track.
Yeah. Hope he gets sued from the motorcycle rider who was hurt. So I think like I'm pretty sure civil lawsuits are going to be. He's going to be facing at least everyone who was involved. Everyone who was involved, not just the motorcyclists. I'd say. So he's facing at least 10 suits. That's what I would say. But the motorcyclist actually had to be treated for his injuries because he skidded.
Skidded in the skid mark.
Track, yes.
Ironic. Skidded in the skid mark.
Yes, he's financially fucked, yeah. Lots of fines. I imagine a lot of civil suits will be getting against them. So, yeah. So, I figured... So, I'm going to end it on this. I figured you guys kind of like the cryptid stuff because we talked about Skinwalker Ranch last week. So, I figured... I'm not exactly going to go into necessarily the history of this creature, but I figured... because if I do a cryptid stream, I'll most likely cover the Bigfoot species first, and this would be part of the Bigfoot species. But so this is actually a cryptid in Australia. It basically is Australia's version of Bigfoot. It's called the Yowie. So according to this, accounts from Europeans only date to the 19th century, so basically the 1800s. But the indigenous Aboriginal people are believed to go back. Their stories go back much further. So it's probably, potentially centuries of this creature.
That's a raging rhino.
Yeah. So, yeah, pretty much. Yep. So there's a 2021 sighting in Queensland, Australia. So basically Mazza's family. In December of 2021, when 3 men came face to face with the Yowie. We were in utter disbelief of what we were seeing. We spotted the elusive cryptid alongside Seamus Fitzgerald and one other man, all of whom work on a plantation. So yeah. Came across it on December 4th as they made their way to Jimna Base Camp. So yeah, so... I guess like a size comparison. Human. And so forth. So I'm not going to go into the history because, like I said, if I'm going to do a cryptid stream covering Bigfoots, I would most likely go into the history on that stream, pretty much. No, that's another species. That's another species. Is that Moses? Yeah, always what Bigfoot say when you step on his foot. Yeah. Cryptozoology. His cryptozoology is always fascinating. Yeah. I would not put it past them. I believe that's why I find cryptozoology fascinating because every legend starts from some truth, like some experience, like some true happening that occurred, and eventually gets morphed into the legend that we know it. But it all stems from some truth, like basically, like the so-called sea beasts and things like that plagued ships back in the 1700s, things like that, and they would describe them as these huge creatures and so forth. Well, we were most likely what they were encountering were giant squid, right? But they didn't know about squid back then, pretty much, that they would attribute to sea monsters, like basically like mythological sea monsters. So there's some truth. There's some truth to what the legends that we know today. That's why I find it fascinating. But this I tracked down the New York Post. I clicked on the New York Post article, and I got the video, not the video itself because it's the guy's claim, but there was a video from 2019 where an expert tracker claimed the legendary beast, who's believed to be 8-foot tall Bigfoot-like creature, has been reportedly sighted in the outback. So I'm gonna play a little bit of that video. Loch Ness is basically a plesiosaur, yeah. Like, there's something there. There's always some little bit of truth. That's where we get the legends today. That's become cryptids today. Now, there's some that I don't really believe in at all. Like, Jersey Devil, I think that's a stretch. That's a stretch. But Bigfoot or its cousins like the Yowie or the Yeti, Loch Ness, and so forth. I think there's some things there that these creatures that they're potentially out there with the amount of land so forth.
The X-Files did a Jersey Devil episode in season 1, early on in season 1, and it was actually more believable than the myth.
Mm-hmm.
They did their own twist on it. I think they also did a Bigfoot one, and there was definitely a Loch Ness-ish one.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a version of The Thing as well. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
So Mothman is a stretch. Mothman is another stretch. But like the Skinwalkers, Chupacabra, I believe there's a creature out there that's doing this. Now, is it exactly out as a Chupacabra is described? I don't think so. But I think there's something out there that's causing this, like the cattle mutilations and so forth. So,
have you seen the Goat Man?
The actual cryptid or what?
Yeah, it's they have a picture of him.
No.
Yeah, just look at it. You can Google it right now. The Goat Man. It's probably fake, but it looks pretty good. I got a black and white picture. I think it's a couple of them.
Let me look at images.
Yeah, there's quite a few stories about that one if you want to delve into that one later on.
I don't know. This is one of the images I've found. Hold on. Like this.
Yeah, there he is.
That's weird.
It's probably fake, but it does look good, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. I'm leaning towards fake.
Yeah, me too. But it's yeah. There's legends about that one.
Not this song in particular, guy, but I've had days where a song just keeps playing in my head, so I know the feeling. While I do believe in Bigfoot, I do find it weird that they've never seen on camera traps in the woods. That's what I'm saying. When I said like last week, pretty much, I get it that there's this huge stretches of forest, so like not every they're not going to be easily covered. So the potential of a creature out there is high, but at the same time, it's like no one's caught it like a glimpse of it on a smartphone or anything like that. Like better cameras, like we always see fuzzy. It's fuzzy or it's grainy or it's
yeah.
It's
sometimes
you look at it going, that's sus.
Yeah, sometimes it's wearing sneakers.
Yeah, but anyway, so I'm not gonna watch this, but this is a video I found. They're called it's yowiehunters.com. So I'm like find this fascinating that they actually track. So let me share this screen. It's kind of like this shows now like Bigfoot, they track Bigfoot over here in the States. So Yowie Hunters. This is the image. There's alleged Yowie that was sighted in Jimna. So I don't know how I can try zooming
fuzzy
in.
Picture again.
Yeah,
always a fuzzy picture.
That's what it's always a fuzzy picture. That's why I'm like I lean towards but I'm like doesn't mean I don't believe there's something out there. It's just I need better proof. So I'm gonna kind of zoom back out a little bit. But here's this video. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing. We're just gonna watch a little bit of it.
He went from here straight across in like 3 seconds. He was moving. Okay, Rich, you go up to the left. I'm going to take the right. Ash, you go straight ahead. Let's go.
Dean and his Yowie hunters will soon be packing their gear, heading to the Brindabella Ranges to track the unknown. Myth or not, there's no doubt Steve Piper's film shows something. Exactly what that is, Well, what do you think?
It's too dark to be a kangaroo.
Okay, I see it walking.
I think it's a guy in a suit.
It's too dark to be a kangaroo.
Yeah, it's right here. I mean, they have said Bigfoot tends to walk like a man,
Yeah, because
not so much ape-like.
I don't know, but I suspect it's probably somebody dressed up in a costume walking through the Brindabella bush.
Mr. Gray says there's a handsome reward on offer for anyone who can prove yowies exist.
Yes, I suppose that the Yowie people do give us a living in a way, but we are very interested in the world. It's a strange and wonderful place, but we just don't want to make it even stranger and crazier than it in fact is.
People with access to grind will always bring it down. Now, the Skeptic Society is a classic. They have an axe to grind, and they are funded by a governing body that would like to conceal this creature. But what you've got to keep in mind is that, science and paleontology has fossil evidence of this creature. They did exist. That is fact in science.
So, come on.
would be cool if true, but I'm skeptical.
So, well, see, like, the thing is, my own theory, Sasquatch knows how to really hide. Has anybody seen Harry and the Hendersons? The movie Harry and the Hendersons? They actually, I'm not, like, the movie itself is pure fiction. The movie itself is pure fiction. But they actually, in a way, had, oh, God, go away. They actually, in a sense, had, a plausible explanation for why, you don't really spot them easily in the woods. At the end, they don't go. It's like basically shown. It's like one of the few, like, you know, hey, when movies showed you, didn't tell you, and they showed you, and you're like, oh, that's like, that could be a plausible explanation as to why people haven't quite seen that many Bigfoots, because they're able to blend into the forest. I'm gonna try to find the end of Harry and the Hendersons. So yeah, of course, we have John Lithgow, yes. See if I can find the end. Of course, I might get hits because I'm finding it through YouTube.
Wasn't that a TV show as well?
Yeah, they did a TV show after it, but it was a movie first. So, hold on, let me mute myself in case it starts playing.
Yeah, I think you're right, Sean. I don't think it lasted too long. They had a lot of shows in the early 90s and late 80s that just didn't last long, you know, even though they were great.
It was a movie first. It was a show, but it was a movie first. Yeah, because I remember watching, and the actor who played Harry and the Hendersons actually died of AIDS not long after the movie, but it was because of a bad blood transfusion, which sadly occurred in the 1980s. So I keyed it up. All right. I keyed it up to this part. All right. So Harry, basically, the family has said their goodbyes. They're essentially freeing Harry back into the woods because he, hey Darth, he's being made like basically a spectacle. There are hunters trying to track him and things like that. So, but here it is. So here's why I said like it could possibly be a plausible explanation as to why we don't see them. He's walking away. And since they're able to blend in. So, like I said, so plausible. Like plausible with the stretch of woods that the United States has. I believe so. Or at least he was he. Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah.
Like I said, he died not long after the Harry and the Henderson movie from AIDS, and it's because of a bad blood transfusion.
Was a really tall black fellow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of brown in the woods plus the brush. Like I said, like they basically showed where it leads me to believe where I'm skeptical based on the evidence, but I'm a true skeptic because I'm willing to I believe there's something out there, but I'm not going to blindly believe everything I hear. I want better proof. I would say neither in the Congo, because I don't think either one would survive the Congo. For different reasons. So I'd say neither one to me would be believable.
Dinosaurs would also be a lot smaller today than what they used to be because of the atmosphere changes.
Yeah, because when they were alive, the oxygen levels were higher.
Yeah, so if a dinosaur species continued to live, they would be more the size of horses now.
Yeah, I still wouldn't hang out around a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but yeah, they would not be the giants that we see in Jurassic Park movies. They would not get that big. Because there's not enough oxygen for them to breathe in and expel the carbon dioxide in the air for them to get that big.
Also, they wouldn't find big enough food,
Yeah.
to sustain that massive size.
So, but anyway, so that is. Oh, I want to show one thing. You'll get a kick out of this, Chad. I'm not going to go into this article, but I found this also through. Look at this headline. Uno is looking for a chief player to play 4 hours a day to earn in US dollars is $4,444 a week for 4 weeks. 4-week stretch. I'd have to move to New York. I'm not fucking moving to New York. I'll show you, Trey, because I read the article. It says I would have to you would have to have a great time in sunny New York City. Fuck that. I've seen the shit that goes on in New York City. No, I'd say it that was no. If I could stay here, fuck yeah, I'd do it. I would do it, but no, I'd have to move to New York for 4 weeks, and I'm not doing that. Yeah, so I'm not going moving to New York City. I think that's why the pay is so high, because it says right here you'd work 2 to 6 p.m. Eastern, 4 days a week, so basically you have 3 days off, for 4 consecutive weeks starting from 13 September. You have to be friendly and willing to ask strangers to play the game, be able to teach strangers how to play the game, because they're coming out with a new version of Uno. So teach strangers how to play the game in an engaging way, must be able to sit for long periods, lift and carry 50 pounds, and set up playing tables and tents on location. And you have to be a permanent U.S. citizen to apply. You would get $4,444 per week, which amounts to $17,776 total, excluding when they take out tax. So, yeah. Yeah, strangers, yeah. So, you have to play in the subway going to the Bronx, yeah. But anyway, there is. I just thought that was. I saw that and I was like, I have to show that at least a little bit. But anyway, so thank you all for hanging out with us. I don't know why they're coming up with a new version, but that's what you would have to teach people. But thank you all for hanging out with us. Next week is going to be the retro review for Space Hunter: Adventures in the Forbidden Zone. So if you have not watched that movie, you have about a week to watch it until 8 p.m. Next Wednesday. So thank you again. Steve, let everybody know where they can find you next and all that fun stuff.
Oh, this plays in, is it 4 weeks? Or
yeah, about 4 weeks.
Yeah, for the top 10 actresses.
Yes. Top 10 actresses.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, next week will be the retro review discussion for Space Hunter: Adventures in the Forbidden Zone from 1983. Then the ones and twos for this month is Ghostbusters. So August 16th will be the first Ghostbusters film from 1984. So you have about a couple weeks to watch the first Ghostbusters film. And then the following week will be the discussion of its sequel from the late 80s, Ghostbusters 2. The 2016 version does not exist. All right, so we're only covering those two films. And then after that is the top 10 actresses stream. So that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be live on either Twitch or Kick tomorrow afternoon because I won't be able to stream in the evening. Talk to my mom and I'll be occupied. At least enough in the evening where I don't think I'll be able to start at my normal time. Friday will be the live stream I do early afternoon on my live channel, and then a chill gaming stream after that. Because Friday evening, I'm going to be watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. And the only reason I'm holding out until watching it then, and not tomorrow evening, because I'm not going to be able to stream, is because I want that shit fresh in my mind so I can rip it apart on Saturday and then promptly fucking forget it. But I don't want to. So I don't want to. Let's put it this way. Yes and no, I want to forget this shit pretty much, but I want to remember it enough for Saturday evening. So, but that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, this is my live channel, so come hang out then. I normally do it about noon Eastern, but for about an hour, and then about a 30-minute break before I jump onto Kick, generally for a chill gaming stream, most likely Uno. And I'll try doing the online, playing against like actual people to see if I can hold my own against randos. We'll see. So yeah, it's worse than Indy 5. I'm not liking what I'm seeing so far. Yeah, it's hard to forget something that gives you PTSD, but I've promptly put out of my mind the Flash movie, so if I can do that, I can do this. So yeah, but I have to remember it for Saturday. So take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day or evening, depending on where you are in the world. And we will see you all. I will see you all tomorrow. And we, as in Zeke, will see you all in about 4 weeks for a top 10 actresses. So take care, stay safe, and peace.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.